Good evening and welcome to Edessa, the Dark Crusade, Season 2. We start tonight's scene. Madeline and her two ghouls, her two friends, followers, whatever you want to call them, you're standing a bit off to the side, and she's just catched up with Joanna. The two of them have discussed at the recent Elysium a certain lady who seems to have some sons, maybe ghouls, maybe followers of another kind, who seemed sick, and she seemed a bit standoffish, a little mysterious. So, Madeline and Joanna have met up and are about to look into this.
Johanna actually has a dinner invitation, so she would have, from the Lady of Roth, she would have let Madeline know and sent a RSVP with a +1. If Madeline's okay with that.
Yeah. Although they probably don't, things like that don't exist in medieval times. But
sorry, you know what I mean.
I know. I am totally aware.
Sorry, it's still the 8 a.m. for me.
It seems a little antagonistic. Anachronistic, sorry. But Madeline will be okay. But the two ghouls seem to be fairly close by to the neighborhood. But she will meet up in a quite fine clothing. You would tell that she's wearing like an overcoat, but she is also under it wearing something that looks more Byzantine or like fairly high end, probably from Constantinople.
Okay. Johanna will take a moment to admire her attire because, she loves that shit, even if her own clothes are well made but extremely simple. You look lovely, Madeline.
Thank you. I know, but it is a thing I have only recently really begun to contemplate. I can never really see myself. And I will never be able to. But such things might sound a bit narcissistic.
I hope you'll forgive my immodesty, but it sounds a tragedy, actually, to me.
Yeah, it is one of the lessons I must learn. But you complimented me, and I assume I know you mean it, so it is not a problem.
Please allow me to serve as your reflection and tell you that if you could see yourself, you would be quite pleased.
I'm sure. Come. This is the place, no?
It is. And we are expected. She will move forward. The gate was... Actually, she stops at the gate because the gate was creepy, right? Storyteller?
Yes. It seemed to kind of draw you in. It was almost as if it was almost kind of like presence, if you will, like entrancement, kind of enticing you to come inside as kind of bits and pieces of the essence of kindred was kind of being drained from you, if ever so slightly.
So she hesitates at the gate without quite touching it and glances back at Madeline. I hope you are prepared. Tonight may be difficult.
Have your senses sharp and be ready to run or be ready to respond to bad situations. I can ask of no other than that.
She nods, and quite keenly aware that they're probably being watched, gives Madeline a cheerful, like, oh, I'm so glad we're having this friendly social evening smile. And then we'll reach to open the gate carefully with two gloved fingers.
As you do so, as you kind of slowly open the gate, you notice something rather different than what you felt before. You don't feel that sense of entrancement. You don't feel that kind of bringing you in. It feels kind of like it's been kind of simmered down almost. And as you open the gate, a figure comes from the doorway. It looks to be, you could assume it to be a servant, a man about 45 years of age. He smiles at you rather welcoming and warm. Yes, you are the guest of the Lady of Wrath, yes? Correct?
Good evening. Yes, I believe we're expected.
Wonderful. He looks at Madeline. Oh, you brought a guest. I'm sure the mistress will be quite happy. She is a very welcoming person. Please, come. And he kind of ushers you two into the doorway. And as soon as he opens the door and you go inside, it doesn't seem like an abandoned home. It doesn't seem like a creepy, eerie place as if no one's lived there. It's almost as if by some kind of strange magic, if you will, there is candles lighting a long hallway. And as you kind of enter in, you see gold adorned cups and things, basically things that a lady of status would have within her home. And you go to what's basically kind of like the parlor, and you see a nice little table area with all sorts of delicious looking food. The candles again are kind of flickering kind of warmly and brightly. It seems like a very inviting place. Please have a seat. Have a seat. I will bring the mistress. She is getting dressed, I should say.
As she leaves, Madeline will just scooch over and just welcoming. Remember to be careful with eating or ingesting anything given to you from her. Always smell first. If you can smell something off, do hesitate to say it is not to your taste or that you are not hungry. Apologize maybe, but be careful with ingesting anything.
Of course. She smiles at Madeline and points out quietly, you weren't here for the last time, but the gate has calmed itself considerably.
A ward of some kind? Perhaps.
Perhaps. And yet it seemed to draw me in last time. This time I find myself entering without any particular encouragement.
Keep your eyes open.
Of course. And she seats herself and lifts the glass of wine to sniff it with a connoisseur's appreciation.
As you sniff the wine, Johanna, does she know any wine, aside from like communion wine and such?
Yeah, she was a Portuguese noblewoman before she joined the monastery.
Then
And
she would know her wine.
Yes.
As you smell this wine, and the kind of perfumed aroma comes from it, you can tell that it is one of the best wines that you can have during this time. It's been aged extremely well. There's no hint of any kind of bitterness within it. You do detect a hint of iron within it, but it's a small amount, nothing overtly so.
Okay. My shit is frozen. I'm really tempted to turn up the aspects a little to enjoy this wine to the fullest, but I'm not going to yet.
That's perfectly fine. What is Madeline doing as Johanna is smelling this rather alluring wine?
She would just look around the place and just take a sip. Just like, is it like, just see, like, is it like two doors out of here? Like the one they came in out and the one they exited? The one they can exit? And just how many windows are there? Stuff like that.
There are about 3 windows. There is 2 to your left, which you can assume is to be like where the window area is for looking outside. And as for doors, you have the door that you entered from. You have a door to your right, and then you have a door that's kind of it's not to the right. It's a little bit it's like slightly front right, I guess is how you would say it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from that door. It's from the front right. It's kind of like from the front right door that you hear the door open, and you see the servant with the Lady of Roth in tow, and she's wearing a rather nice kind of silken gown with the with her hair kind of done up, and she has what you can assume to be kind of like a blush or some kind of markment upon her face to kind of give it a little bit of life. And she comes in with her ebony cane. You see, she sees the both of you, and she smiles at Johanna. Well, good to see that my invitation got to you, my dear. And oh, you brought a friend. Wonderful. I always like having guests. Sometimes it's hard for people to arrive on time, but I like punctuality. As she kind of walks herself towards a chair, and she sits down. The food that's in front of you is looks to be like there's goat, there's mutton, there is hog. It's if there was anything to represent just complete expulsion of greed of food, then this would probably be it.
Expulsion of what?
Of greed, like basically basically meaning that she has a shit ton of nice food on the table.
Got it. Okay.
Madeline will have a look at that food and just smell it. And you just have, she'll activate aspects for this. And just like smell if it's just good food or if there's any sort of hint of blood or tampering in any way that sticks out.
More than fine.
All right. Then she will eat of it and enjoy it.
Can I? So Johanna would have risen quietly and gracefully when the Lady of Roth appeared, just to kind of show her due courtesy. And she seats herself again. Can I use Auspex to read this woman's aura?
Certainly, you certainly can as you're helping her. She'll just simply smile at you. Thank you, dear. You're too kind, especially for a woman in her final years, I should say.
Oh, I do hope not. I hope you have many more ahead of you.
Madeline will also come over, and I will. First of all, I will roll a perception empathy for aspects.
Okay.
There it is.
On her. At difficulty 8. Okay, I just get, since Auspex being activated doesn't reduce the difficulty of this roll, right? So it's still difficulty 8. So I just get one success.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I also have one success.
Okay. As you two, kind of help her and using your aspects to read her soul, to read what exactly this woman is, you get a hint of what you can assume to be almost, well, in our terms, it'd be kind of like a static, if you will, kind of a shimmeringness coming from her body. You can't exactly tell what her body is. What she is entirely. You know for a fact that even with one success, I'll give it to you, is that she's not human. You know that much. She could possibly be kindred, or she could be something else entirely, but you know for a fact that she is not a complete mortal being. And as you see that, she simply kind of smiles at the both of you and sits down. Ah, lovely, lovely. So, my dears, please tell me, how are these times coming for the both of you?
Quite well,
So-
thank you. I must apologize, I did not introduce myself. My name is Madeleine. It is a pleasure to meet you, and I am really, really pleased for your open hospitality towards my friend and myself.
Of course, my dears, of course. I am the Lady of Wrath, though I guess if we are to be comfortable and such, you may call me Morgana. Morgana of Wrath is my name.
A pleasure to make your more intimate acquaintance, my lady.
Quite so.
Thank you. And again, I must thank the both of you for indulging an old woman with her ways. When I meet people of exception, I can't help but want to talk to them. It gets rather lonely in these nights and such, moving from place to place to go on your pilgrimage. It's almost like it's almost as if a story, if you will, of the person heading towards their final destination and the happy ending or what have you. Almost biblical in its own ways.
Well, my lady, Christ said to visit the orphan and the widow. I would be extremely remiss if I didn't accept this pleasure, both personally and before my God. But you shouldn't speak so of final journeys. You seem quite well, and you have so many strong sons to help you.
That I do, my dear, that I do. But, it is just a fact of life, and of human beings, that we live, we grow, we age, and then we return to the dust. We return to the ground of which we came from. It is simply as things should be. But maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself with these allegories and what have you. Would you two like to hear a story? I think a story would be far more appropriate.
Can I perception that it is as things should be?
Of course. As she kind of brings her servant over, and she kind of talks to him, and he kind of simply nods as he kind of goes off into the front right room, and she kind of digs in to her meal. Let's see,
7
2,
successes?
3.
Is it
Yeah.
7? Sorry, no, 5 successes.
Yeah, 5. Well, you know, even with 5, like, you know for a fact that she is bullshitting the shit out of you.
Okay.
She's bullshitting the shit out of you about things that should be, and you know a little bit about about human beings living, growing old, and dying, that sort of thing. You know for a fact that she's not telling you the full truth on that, particularly with her philosophy on it, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
As she
That's the same roll, just the 2 successes, so I might not get anything.
Okay. No, you just kind of get that maybe she's not telling you the whole truth about it. But she kind of digs into the meal in front of her, the pig, and she kind of chews it rather, slowly, daintily, as a lady should. Now, my story begins quite a long time ago. You see, I lived in a particular place. And in this place, we communed with nature. We communed with the spirit world. Because in our ways, the spirit world and ours was not so different. They were easily able to meet each other and intersect in certain places. And that's where we built our temples and our homes, to be close to our ancestors and those beyond them. We knew that the end of this mortal life was not the end. There was always, as 2 rolls come in, so I need this.
Wow. Okay, Madeline seems totally relaxed and totally fine. Like she's completely. That's a manipulation of the roll.
Okay, Jesus. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
she's formed glasses, like super cool sunglasses that don't exist yet, onto her eyes, and she's Joe Coolin over here.
Yeah,
she's like, I love this story. This is great.
Just out of character, inside Madeline is quietly getting panicked now because this sounds a whole like something she's heard about before, and those kind of guys or people tend to rip people like her apart, which is a bad thing. So yeah, she's kind of freaking out right now.
Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful.
No, but that's what she knows.
Yeah, of course. As the Lady of Froth kind of continues on with her story. But those times were sadly not forever, it seems. For on ships came men with swords and men with cross, who only had simply 2 desires. One, to destroy our way of life and to conquer us. We fought, we resisted as people would for those who wish to take their homes, to take their way of life, their very means of existence. But it wasn't enough. They destroyed our temples and burnt our homes and forced us to kneel in front of a false god. But there were those. She smiles as she takes off her the necklace that you see, and she kind of promptly puts on a new necklace. It's a necklace of what you can assume to be a hawk's skull with a kind of a blackish metal. But there were those, such as myself, who kept the old ways, the old faith. And it was from that I came this notion. Just like as they have done to my home, I shall do to their most holy of cities. I will watch it burn.
Okay, Johanna is not even trying to look amused at this point. Like, this entire story has been not what she was expecting at all, and she's wearing a look of oh god, you know that look that your grandma wears when you've started into a topic at Thanksgiving dinner that like is just completely inappropriate for the company? Like,
Yes.
Johanna's face is wearing that exact expression, like, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon?
Madeline will just look at her and just for a moment she'll just say, and I suppose you are speaking of places like Jerusalem?
Yes, my dear.
Not
Exactly
like,
those places.
not this city.
Well,
It is not a giant bastion of Christianity. Well, not
No.
anymore.
no. But she kind of puts her hand towards the window. No, but there are people here. Bodies, warm, needed in the ways of the old. It would be such a terrible tragedy. Edessa falls to plague. Its refugees running towards the holiest of cities and the cities between, while it grows ever bigger, until finally Jerusalem falls from within, and there is nothing there but shambling dead that eat each other. But there would be a few that would be kept alive. I would need a new body after all, for this one is already on its way out, it seems.
And you truly think that we would let you do such a thing?
Of course not. She kind of she pulls out a black pearl, much like she gave to Johanna. Did you think that I gave her this simply because of generosity? It told me things, told me exactly what I need to know. You are not human, are you? Just like me. But
Is her servant still in the room?
no, her servant, well, actually, he comes in with you can assume to be another plate of food, if you will.
I mean, Johanna's not assuming shit at this point. Is he? She will inspect the plate that he's carrying quite closely.
What you see as soon as you roll that.
Yes. Is that perception awareness, or is that?
Yeah. It would be
Alertness.
awareness.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be awareness.
What do we have? Oh, that's pretty good. 5
Oh
successes.
yeah, very nice. Very nice, very nice. What you see as he opens up this kind of, you see, most assuredly, it is a person. It is the flesh of a person. It's been cooked, so it's been kind of cooked and kind of made kind of like a steak, if you will. But you can definitely tell that this is people's flesh.
Huh.
And she, as the kind of hog is taken from her, and she takes the human flesh and she eats it rather not daintily. It's more kind of a rawness to it.
Can I see her teeth when she eats?
Of course.
I'm just like, do they seem normal?
No, they don't seem normal. At least not in the case of like Canaanite teeth. They are jagged, almost like jagged rocks. They kind of look weird in places. They're not the mouth of someone of Cain's blood, or at least that you've seen. She, as she kind of eats of the blood, of the flesh that's been kind of cooked, she smiles and kind of wipes the blood from her chin. Now, you must be wondering to yourself, my dears, why is it that the Lady of Wrath, I forget, that is not really my name. It is the Lady of Rot. Thank you. Why is she telling me all of these things? Why is she eating flesh? Is Johanna, is she laughing?
I'm sorry. Probably not.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. She
Oh my god, I love you.
she simply says, rather kind of to the point, because you two will unfortunately not be leaving my home for a while. You are my guests, and my guests always stay for dinner. And as
Might we know our captor's nature, as you so gracefully invite us into your home?
my nature, well, my dears, what better flesh is there than flesh that will never die? You'd be quite surprised that how this body came to be, but not much to be said. Simply steal a soul with a pearl, perhaps, and then put yourself in her heart. And thus that is how I've been able to live longer than most. Almost as long as you have, perhaps.
I am quite certain that at this point, Madeline is going to spend 3 blood points.
3 blood?
Yeah. I'm activating Obtenitor's form.
Okay, that's more than fine.
Madeline begins to cough at first.
Okay. As you cough, I'm not gonna let you guys need you guys to roll for this because it's gonna be a fairly obvious thing. You hear coming from some of the doorways behind you and to the side of you. You hear and you see the suns. You see the suns in their large, statured nature. And I'm going to do that because this way it's... That
terrifying?
way people know. Yeah, it's more terrifying. As they kind of shamble towards you, and you can see quite fully the large stockiness of their bodies, and you can see the complete and utter decrepitness of their forms with the kind of cracked eyes and such. You can tell definitely just from looking at them now that these men have not been alive for quite some time. And even the servant that you see kind of reacts the same as they do, though his flesh has not grayed as theirs have. He was slightly pale. And he brandished... Please.
And how many
Madeline
of them?
just begins to, she's looked like she's throwing up, but what she's throwing up is just, like you see her begin to puke, and she begins to puke black something that just runs down on the floor, and she, like her hair is beginning to go darker and longer, and it just becomes completely black and begins to fall down on her. And she's crying, but she's crying something black that's just running out of her eyes, and she's beginning to turn more and more black. Her skin turns black. Everything just seems to fade away at this point.
Okay. Shit. I'm wondering how I can do this. We need to roll our initiative because this is definitely a combat thing. I'm trying to...
And how many gentlemen are there here?
I believe there are 6. The 6 sons, 6 sons, and the servant. So that's 7 plus her, but I don't think she's gonna get up and attack you guys anytime soon. So she's gonna calmly sit. She's gonna calmly sit and eat her dinner. So let's see.
I have 17 initiative.
Okay.
A natural 10.
Very, very nice. I have to roll. Let's see. I have to roll. Let's see. Roll 7 d10s because I'm going to do it super quick. See who goes what. If it'll work, of course not. Oh goody! It doesn't want to roll. Can someone roll me some?
It's just you have 1 too much. I'll do it.
Please, because
there
we go. The 10 is, let's see, the 10 is going to be one of the sons. The servant is going to be 1. Don't worry too much about necessarily the order, since I'm going to have them kind of go as kind of like as one unit, if you will, as one person almost. So hopefully we'll figure that shit out. So let's see. So who goes first? I'm assuming, of course, it should be Sister Madeline, since she got a straight 10.
Would you say that the transformation is complete by now?
Yeah, I would fairly certain that she has gotten most, if not all of her abilities out and about.
Just as a thing, you've seen, like, Joanna, you've seen this before. You've seen this, like Ulrich did this when you first came in, when he came into the just plopped down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yes, Madeline is going to spend more blood. She's going to spend blood in stamina, and she's going to spend blood summoning the arms of Arimar.
Very nice. How much blood does she have, by the way?
14.
Okay, so how much has she spent now?
So she is down at 9.
Okay, what's her hunger score? Just asking.
She has so that's 4. 3 or 4.
Okay.
So she's not.
Okay.
She's not.
So she's got at least enough.
She's
She's got
hungry.
enough to
She's getting a little hungry, but yeah.
more than appropriate for all the shit that she had to do.
Wow! If only that was an attack roll, huh?
What is that? That's
Wow.
amazing.
Wow! I rolled like fucking incredible today. 5 of these, like, the room is just beginning to fill with this black shit, and you'll see that like 5 arms sprout from what was Madeline, what you think probably is Madeline. And what is going to happen is, are you going to resist? Because not you. One of the arms is going to grab Joanna.
Oh, okay.
Oh God. Okay.
And the question is, I mean, it's going to grab you unless you resist, of course.
Does she have any way to know that? Well, I guess she can assume that this is friendly because it's coming from Madeline. She will let herself be grabbed.
What Madeline is going to do is she is going to. So the other arms are gonna smash a window open, and then the form is just gonna float out of, like, drag outside, just plump her outside the house if she can, of course, and the form is just gonna flop out of the window. Do I need to roll to smash the window?
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, there's 4 other tentacles. I'm gonna.
Unfortunately for this, I'm gonna have to give it like a difficulty 9.
That's fine.
Because if she put a ward on her gate, I'm fairly certain she put wards on her fucking windows.
Yeah, like I have a potence, so that would be like 1 success, right?
I would think so, yeah.
So that's this plus 1. So one of them is have 1 success. I'll just roll 4 of these. One has 2 successes. And one has 1 success. And the last one has 1 success. Like, they're going to like slub up and just begin to smash down. Like, that's 5 in total.
Okay. The tentacles themselves, as they kind of rise up and they start smacking at the window, you can feel just from the fact of them hitting it that there is a lot of resistance coming from the window itself. You can definitely tell with the 5 that if you continuously pound on it like that, you'll probably be able to start breaking the ward. The ward itself doesn't seem to be. It seems to be just enough that if you just kind of continually bash in on it, it'll eventually break. As you're doing that, let's see. One of the shambling brothers is going to grab at. He's going to grab at your arm. Let's see. Can you roll me a? Let's see. To grab your arm, that's what, a dex brawl, I'm assuming. Because Or no, or is it strength brawl?
Strength brawl if it's grapple, I think.
Yeah, it would be a strength brawl. Can you roll me 60-10, please?
That's 3.
3 successes.
Okay. It's going to resist, right?
Yeah.
So I actually cheated myself. I had 1 more on all those rolls, but oh well. So with 1 auto success, it resists.
Okay, as the large zombie-like creature attempts to grab your arm, you're able to pull it away quickly enough that it only grabs air. Let's see. After that, one of the other ones is the 2 of them are going to actually try to grab Johanna. So just another, let me see. Let me see if it'll work this time.
You need to have, no, it's because you need 1, you don't need this, or you can't have a space between the dash and the R. It's dash, R, no, and then you need to have a space between R and the 6.
Okay, there we go. Okay, this is, to grapple you. 1, 2, 3 successes on that to grapple you. This is for the both of them. I'm just going to do it like that, make it easier.
And is that resisted? Sorry, this is literally the first time I've ever been in combat with my vampire.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume you can attempt to resist.
Okay.
Though with 2 of them, I think you have to roll it twice.
Okay.
You're basically trying to,
Would it be Dex Brawl, Dex Athletics? What's the resisting on that?
I believe it's Dex Athletics, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, Madeline, she's doing them rolls. It was smart. It's smart that you brought her. Ooh, okay. No successes on that.
You are grabbed by 1 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
grabbed
the other,
if it's split, of course, I don't know if it's.
Yeah, basically, one of them, the first one is able to grab her arm, and the second one was attempting to kind of grab her chest as if to try and kind of put her down, but maybe it's just the fact that again, zombies are not the smartest creatures, so it kind of fails in that remark. Let's see, that's 3. There's 2 more. The two other zombies are going to pull out what looks to be kind of special looking daggers, if you will. They're kind of like a kind of a silver metal.
Oh no!
And they're going to. They're kind of blocked by the other 3, so they're just gonna kind of like shamble a little bit towards you. The servant is not moving. He's currently, well, he is moving, but he's moving towards you very slowly because he's kind of focusing on whether or not it needs to move, and that will be their thing. So.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll for each one separately again. Because they're going to, that's just 0. That sucks.
Does my resisted roll count as my action, or can I use Dread Gaze?
No, I don't think your resisted roll counts as an action, I think.
Okay, so would it be my turn then?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. I think okay.
Because I would like to.
Let's let.
I might do something really, really cool at the moment, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, let her do her thing, and then it'll be you.
Wow, okay, that last one was nice. 0 on the first one, 1, 2 on the next one. So that's 3, and then plus... That's 7 in this round.
Oh, very nice. Is that to break the window?
Yeah.
Pummeling that window, you can feel the ward is starting to break far more than what the Lady of Rot is expecting, as she kind of yells to her children to stop you. To stop the she calls you a shadowcaster, basically to stop the shadowcaster from breaking the ward. And now Johanna, please, you're going to resist this large man from grabbing your arm.
I was just reminded that I need to be adding celerity to all my dex-based pools, so I had 2 more dice I didn't use last time. I apologize.
No, I should have remembered that.
I will try and keep reminding myself. So I would like to try to use Dread Gaze on the Lady of Wrath.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll Charisma Intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. As Johanna snarls and turns into a very unhappy young woman. So what is her wits plus courage? Does she have courage?
Yes. Let me see. I believe it's about a 7.
For the total?
That's together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have 2 successes.
Mm-hmm. As you kind of close your eyes and you kind of open them quickly and kind of bring out this. Please describe to me what it is her Dread Gaze does, or how she's doing it.
Well, she is currently cradled by adoring servants, but she's going to bare her fangs and snarl and inform the Lady of Wrath that unless you change your mind very quickly, we're going to be all very sorry.
As you say that, she recoils from this change in your disposition. The servant, upon seeing her recoil, kind of moves to be in front of her as if to block you from trying to physically attack her. And you feel, because of that, a bit of a loosening from the one on your arm.
Okay, and I'd like to do that as an extended action.
Okay.
So, yeah. So when it's my turn again, I will do the same thing.
Okay. Now, let us go back to Madeline's zombies. See what they are planning to do. The fuck? Oh, I see what I did wrong. Sorry about that.
Well, that's a 610-sided die.
Well, I instantly win.
That's amazing.
I'd like to see that die. It's going to be either quite big, or the numbers are going to be very, very small.
Probably very small. Let's see. I believe there's 3 successes. It's 3 successes on 2 of them grabbing you. Basically, to kind of grabbing your arm, like your body, your upper body, to kind of push you down, if you will.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, so they're grabbing the darkness thing, like this.
Yeah, they're trying to actually grab the shadowiness.
I don't know if there's anything about that. In this poem, like, it may not deal or receive physical damage, so it's
Kind of useless.
yeah. But I'm just like, how would that work? I don't know. It would probably
Well,
just, because it is as viscous. It is almost like it almost has substance. It's that thick. So in a sense, they could grab it, but sure they could. I suppose they could. I don't know.
either that or it's like their attempt, like they're kind of like they're grabbing through it because they're trying to grab you,
Yeah. Okay.
like physically grab you.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be the more appropriate answer.
Okay. Madeline, just the thing that is in the room, just trying to break down this window, seems relatively unaffected by it and doesn't seem to change its real agenda. It seems to be wanting to still want to smash this window in or out, I suppose.
I'm trying to remember exactly. What's the thing for staking? I know it has to be wood, but what's the
that's a Dex melee at difficulty. I think the standard difficulty is 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
It's really high.
Yeah. Okay, because this is for the two that have the kind of strange daggers. They are going to get to basically they're going to try and get as the other ones have been kind of grabbing onto you, Madeline. It's going to attempt to basically stab you with this dagger. You can tell kind of by looking at it. It's shaped like a dagger. It has kind of silver. It's kind of ordained in silver, but it's not like made of metal, if you will.
Okay, that could potentially hurt a lot. That's not good.
Yes. So with that, stakes don't add anything to your attack roll, right? That's just the damage.
Yeah, I guess +1, but then it has the potential of yeah.
I'll just put a 7 for the stabbing motion. Oh, you're very lucky. Because he got no successes on stabbing you, at least not in the heart. He does stab you, but he doesn't stab you in the heart. He stabs you. It's kind of I assume where your lung is. Your lung is where he stabbed you.
You don't need those.
Yeah,
no,
it's just a flesh wound. But can I feel it?
Oh yeah, you can fucking feel that shit. It hurts. It hurts immensely. It's not like the you know how it is when you are staked. It hurts for a little bit and then you're completely gone in the terms of feeling anything. But just the fact that this kind of strange dagger kind of plunges into your lung area, it hurts. It feels like as it kind of stabs itself inward, you feel as if your very essence, much like how Johanna was kind of describing to you, as if kind of an entrancement, or even like the very essence of her being kind of stolen away. You can feel that from the dagger itself.
Question is,
so
do I take any damage?
Oh yes, but let's see. Damage roll would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 damage.
And what kind of damage is it? I'm afraid to ask.
Well, the fact that it's stealing your essence, I would say, is probably aggravated.
Well,
but I'm going to check. I'm going to check to make sure.
To soak it. So
Jesus.
I believe it should be. I believe it should be aggravated. If it's like much like Protean or something, it's a magically infused
yeah,
item.
but Protean wouldn't be able to damage me in shadow form.
No, that's very true. You know what? I'll make it lethal instead, since I'm not entirely sure. I'll just make it lethal, if that's all right with you.
I'm afraid to, well, I would say yes, please, but I shouldn't push it. I don't know.
Well, like I said, I would rather take it a route where I can at least give you the opportunity.
I don't soak anything anyway, so.
Yeah. So
you'll probably hear some disconcerting noises from this. But then again, it doesn't make too much noise, but the arms just recoil a bit, and like that hurt for some reason, even though they're stabbing at blackness.
those necromancers, man, they got fucked up shit. Now, just one more, and this is going to be for Johanna. This is going to be the one that will attempt to stab you. Let's see if it has any success. No, I don't think so, because there's a 1, a 10, an 8, and a 7. So no, it doesn't.
Oh,
but it stabs. But it stabs you. It doesn't stab. It doesn't stab you in the lung, though. It stabs you in the stomach.
Ow.
And you will take. Again, you'll take lethal damage because I want to be nice and not kill you guys right away. 1, 2, 3. You get 4 lethal.
And do I try and soak that?
Yes, you can certainly try and soak that if you want to. But again, much like how Madeline's thing was going, you actually feel your very essence kind of being pulled from your body.
Nope. She takes it all. Ow.
Oh, got it. Okay. Let's see. All right. So with that, the Lady of Rot is going to. She's going to hound her servants. She's going to hound them to strike better. And that will be her thing. So now it is back to Madeline.
No, it's my turn.
Oh, sorry. It is back to... It is now, sorry. It is Johanna, sorry.
Yes, she's going to continue the Dread Gaze and add to that 2 successes. Try to add to that 2 successes. Yes. And if I hit 3, the Lady of Wrath should... Well, anyway. So... 8. Oh my gosh, nope. No successes.
Oof.
She is feeling the pain and not being helpful. What'd you say?
What?
I'll just start to roll for my arms.
Please, go right ahead. As Madeline, I'm assuming it is an ungodly scream as she feels her essence being stolen.
Yeah, but then again, it's probably more muddled and just like something outworldly, since she is a massive arms, tentacles.
That and Johanna was referenced.
Oh, sorry, yeah. We're getting there.
Mm-hmm. So that's what, 3 successes?
2 from. Just need to see.
2 from the first one.
2 from the first one.
Yeah, I believe
1.
2 from the first one.
3 and 2.
So that's 5, 6, 7?
Yeah, plus the others from the other turns.
Yes. Perhaps, kind of spurned on by by the stabbing with the strange dagger, and the fact that your essence is being stolen from you, that fight or flight instinct that kindred have is like really starting to kind of go into an overdrive as your tentacles flop angrily at the ward, and you can start to see actual cracking of you can think of the ward as almost like a mirror, and you can see the cracks forming rather largely, and with like one last kind of hit, it breaks about enough where possibly both of you could escape, but just from the size of it, probably one. If one of you can get away, you can probably escape.
Only one of us is grappled, so you get out of here.
I'm going to do something else. I'm going to use the last arm that is holding Joanna. I'm going to use her as a battering ram and just try to plow her through the window. Just like I'm not standing there, but I'm almost going like, how much do you weigh? And then like the thing is like the shadow form itself is just gonna, as soon as there is a hole, it's just gonna seep through because it's not corporeal. But I am gonna, I mean, as Joanna as an improvised weapon, is that extra damage or what?
Yes, I will allow that because it is an unconventional weapon.
Because that tentacle is just going to smash itself with her into the window. Do I roll extra dice, or will it just add extra damage, or?
It'll just roll extra damage, just extra damage. Because I don't really.
It is successful. Because it has one success, but I don't know.
Just roll me that extra damage if you could.
What is
Unless
that? How much does Joanna give extra?
I would say 2.
This is
I will.
Oh wait, it's difficulty 9 against the ward, so no. Sorry.
No. But so she attempted to.
Well, the tentacle is just going to smash her into the window, essentially, as the shadow mass is essentially, it's moving out. Like, the only things that are left in the room are probably the tentacles at this point.
Okay. So you're saying that Madeline, are you saying that Madeline is escaped, has escaped, or is it more of just like...
the mass, her mass is just seeping into the streets outside.
Okay.
But I'm just kind of.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna try. I mean, I already.
Sure, absolutely.
It's gonna try and smash you through the window and just try to get you out. But at the moment, the tentacles are probably still somewhere in the inside the building.
I don't think I can hold my dread gaze for an extended action while I'm being used to smash windows.
Nope. Sorry.
That is
sorry.
Possible. I don't think so.
No, sorry.
I'm so terrifying.
Boof, as you're smashed against the window, almost comically. So there's probably like some people trying to look and see if there's something in the shadow way, and they see your face, and you're like. No. But okay. So. Madeline has successfully made enough of a crack to get herself out of there. And so we go back once again to the shambling hordes as they attempt to stab somebody. God damn it. Did it again. Ooh. 2 for Johanna. A 9 and a 10 for basically staking you.
Against the window. Yep.
Against the window. Let's see.
You can still try to You can still try to soak it.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 more. 3 more lethal to
Okay.
the impalement.
So I'm gonna soak it or die.
Yes, in a way.
Yes.
I mean, you can spend blood to get more dice, but
Oh, can I?
yeah, I mean, you can bluff up
Yeah.
your stamina if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Because I have a bunch
should-
of blood.
We should have said something about that. Sorry.
Sorry. No, it's my fault. I'm bad at this still. So I have a bunch of blood.
Trust me.
Well, actually, you do soak one of them, and I think you need to get stake. You need 3 damage or more, right?
Yes. So basically,
It hurts,
you're
but
so
you're not
cancelled.
staked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. You're not fully staked. It just needed a little bit. Just needed a little bit more. Like maybe it nicked your rib cage a little bit as it went in.
Yeah.
So it didn't
like,
go fully in.
The rules, as far as I remember, is like you need to connect the hit, and then after soak, it needs to inflict 3 or more damage in order for you to be paralyzed.
Yep.
So
I will say this. I will say this. It feels even more horrible
Yeah.
than it hit you in the stomach. You can actually feel your very essence, your very force of your kindredness, your Canaanite nature. It's being absorbed into this dagger. You feel that if that thing gets in you fully, you will lose everything. You will lose your essence, and you will be basically you'll be trapped within this dagger, essentially, if you will.
That would not be fun.
No, it would not be fun, especially for a Canaanite.
So, can I also spend blood to heal myself, considering I'm now at crippled?
I believe so, but I believe you have to do it
Is that
on
an
your
action?
next.
Okay.
I think it's an action, so you'd have to do it on your next turn.
Well, it is my turn since they went, unless there's more of them going.
Well, there's only one more. I'm just gonna do it like that. So basically, the 2 that were attacking Madeline, they're gonna try and, whoops, not 70-20. No, thank you. They're gonna try and attack her some more, but no, they don't. They don't hit her. The one with the dagger just kind of scrapes through this the shadowiness. She can feel it as it cuts, but it's nothing. It's nothing. It's more of a superficial cut, if anything, because it wasn't able to plunge into you. You could probably feel that these daggers, they're not meant for cutting. They're meant for impaling, much like how a stake is.
Yeah. I don't know whose turn it is.
It's mine.
It's her
It is,
turn.
Joanna.
So
Weapon.
to spend to spend blood to heal myself, how much can I drop at once?
What is your generation?
Good question. It is 9th.
Well, it's combat. Roll a stamina survival roll.
Oak?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not a good roll. Oops.
Hashtag.
You can spend. Well, you're 9th, so you can spend 2 blood around, and
Okay.
you roll 2 successes, so you can spend in combat. It's normally when you're in combat, you have to roll that roll to see how much you can spend on healing yourself. But you can spend 2 blood to heal yourself if you want to.
Okay, so I will spend 2 blood to heal myself, and how much does that heal?
2 health levels of damage.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. That's what she will do with this
Smash it time.
turn.
Smash it time.
Does that count as an action, or can I try and help, like kick the window or something?
You can still you can yeah you can still do that because it's reflective when you
like
put blood.
when you're using blood to heal, it's kind of like an instinctual thing, if you
If
will.
you're using blood to use disciplines, then you can't do something else.
Okay.
But I mean, for like healing and shit like that, no, it's completely fine.
So did I just roll Dex Brawl to do my break in the window?
That's 4 successes, 5 successes from the tentacles this time.
Very nice, very nice. As your tentacles kind of swirl out almost like fingers, kind of trying to forcibly break this, get this ward completely shattered. You can feel it much like glass, kind of cracking and crushing under your grips, and you can feel that you can get more of yourself out of this place.
I had 1 success to help.
Okay.
With helping this.
So do you kick? You're kicking at him.
The tentacles themselves is just gonna mass through this thing. Actually, no. The one holding Joanna is just gonna force itself through the window as much as it can. Will it be able to get her outside?
How are you doing it exactly?
It's like, just the thing is that the tentacles at this point are going to leave the room since they're attached to Madeline, and she is going to just seep through the window now completely and just leave the room. But they're going to take Joanna with them if they can. So, I mean, there's a hole, but would it be able to maybe pull Joanna through it, but maybe damage her in the process?
Yeah, I think it would damage her because
she's going to do that. That's just the way she's going to do it.
While the ward itself is not like a regular window, for example, it is breaking. It is breaking, and it is, kind of a magical item. And when magical items break, they can give damage. So it's going to be.
She's not going to discuss this and going to say, okay, this is going to hurt a bit. No, she's just going to pull. She's leaving the room, and the tentacles will just leave the room, and they're just going to pull Joanna out through it, and it's probably going to hurt her. But yeah, Madeline's not going to care.
I would rather do that than stay in here and have my essence sucked out. So if Johanna had a vote, she would be like, yes.
So I mean, what do you roll, or should I roll damage for that?
I'll roll damage. Okay. It's gonna be like the same. It's gonna be like the same as the dagger, because it just makes it simpler for everybody. 1, 2, 4 damage. As you kind of push Johanna through the ward, the shattering glass, as you're again continuously forcing it open. It's trying its best to try and shut itself, but your tentacles, just your essence of it is just breaking it further and further. The pieces of the ward cut into her flesh. It doesn't drain her essence like the daggers are, but it feels almost like glass is kind of cutting through your flesh. But it's kind of cutting through your flesh, your bone, your very kind of essentially that, as you're pushed completely out of the ward, and you're now kind of on the streets, basically her gardenish area, if you will.
And that puts me exactly at in cap.
Yes.
The amorphous, shadowy blob is just going to travel up along the window, up along the building, onto the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Neat.
And is just gonna seep through shadows, and he's just gonna travel. It's gonna wrap, like the four other tentacles are just gonna just line the form, but Joanna is just gonna be cocooned inside this massive form. You're probably you'll as much as you could feel anything, and when you're incapacitated, you can spend blood to heal yourself up from incap, can't you? You're not torpored. You're incapacitated. No. If you're incapacitated, you can't spend blood to revive yourself.
Mm-hmm. But how much blood do you have left?
I have quite a bit. I have 10 blood left.
Okay. And how much damage have you received so far?
7.
7. Yeah, you could heal that. You have 10, so you'd have 3 blood left. So I'm assuming you'd probably be super hungry.
Well, she wouldn't probably. I mean, would she automatically heal all of it, or would she get a choice and just be able to bring herself back to some measure of usefulness?
I would say some measure of usefulness.
Okay.
If I had been super mean and made it aggravated, it would have been far worse.
I think it would have been final death, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So that's why. Yeah. So that's why you know.
But for the moment, she will just like seep up to the floor and just cocoon Joanna inside like the main blob of just shadow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it is going to, as fast as it can, just creep away from building to building hopefully without getting spotted too much. It is just going to begin to leap from building to building, and it's going to get as far away from it as possible. And Madeline is going to find somewhere where she knows that either Ulrich or the sheriff or someone official is, and alert them as soon as possible.
Okay, let us do that then. Let us move ourselves as you take Johanna's form and yourself towards past the merchant area. You see the sheriff's. You see a military kind of a barrack, and you see someone looking at you. You're looking at your shadowy form, and he's kind of glaring rather unimprovingly at you doing such a thing. As he opens a window door, a rather large window door that's kind of blocked. It's kind of blocked from the street, so if you get in there, you could slip in without being seen.
Madeline will do so, and I don't know if Joanna has healed anything, but the form will just, like, as it comes in, and a grumpy and annoyed sheriff will just see from the darkness an incapacitated body of Joanna will just be laying on the floor, and the shadow things will just begin to materialize a fairly pissed-looking Madeline. She says, "Good evening, my sheriff. I do believe we have an uninvited guest who has just attacked me and the good Joanna here. I request that this person be found and eliminated as soon as possible."
So, it is as Jean Chevardin said, a necromancer. Why am I saying it French? A necromancer. Very well. I will get Ulrich. I will get the Gangrel, every able-bodied kindred who can wield a sword. We will go. We will find this necromancer, and she will burn, or rather it will burn. Please, rest within my chambers. I will have someone come to help you. And as he says that, he opens up this. It looks to be like his personal bed chambers. It's a very nice looking bed. He shouts some words in German, and you see a group of men dressed much like how he is, wearing kind of knightly attire. And you see a couple of, you could assume to be kind of like squire boys or servants, and he instructs them to help you heal yourselves, to replenish yourselves. As he and these group of nightmen disappear off into the night, you can only assume that they are going to notify Ulrich, notify the gangrel, basically everyone that they can get their hands on, and they're going to.
We'll probably just hint at, like, watch out for those blades. Like, she will just say that I was in the shed of this form I have, this form you saw, and the blades still hurt me. Watch out. That is just going to be, like, her parting words with it.
He nods at this. Thank you, Sister Madeline. God help us all. As he again disappears off into the night to gather able-bodied men. And now Madeline and Johanna are within the sheriff's haven, or at least one of them, drinking from his able-bodied servants to attempt to heal them of any grievous wounds.
Well, that's nice. Johanna will have spent at least 2 more blood to get herself up past Incap.
And as Johanna begins to open her eyes, she will just see Madeline just look down at her with a concerned smile, but she is looking at her. But the conversation that follows is something we will have to take in another scene.
Yes,
as
indeed.
This scene will come to a close. Thank you very much, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. ST for STing and almost killing us.
You're quite welcome.